most people know their English level. Maybe you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, or as some standard tests tell you, somewhere between A1 to C2. But here's the truth. That's not the same as your speaking level in real life. For example, I remember when I was 17 and I visited the US for the first time. On paper, my English level was advanced. I could pass grammar tests, write essays, no problem. I could even speak if I wanted to, but I was always the quiet one. When it came to speaking, I would try to avoid having a conversation with others because I was surrounded by native speakers. So instead of enjoying the conversation, I was full of fear. Fear of making a mistake, fear of embarrassing myself, and so on. Many years later, after becoming a teacher and moving abroad to Italy for my master's, I realized that the English level isn't everything in real life. So I met a lot of people who had intermediate English level. For example, I remember that I had this friend whose English wasn't perfect, but when it was time to present himself or present his ideas, he was able to do it easily and effectively, even sometimes better than native speakers. That's when I realized your English level doesn't always reflect your speaking level in real life. So in this video, I'm going to help you understand your speaking level in real life based on the challenges that you have. The problem is that most tests only measure grammar, reading, writing, or maybe even listening. But none of them measure what really matters in real life, your ability to connect with people in conversations. And if you think about it, that's exactly what we need in real life. Why? Because speaking English in real life is mainly about three things. First, your language skills. Yes, you need grammar, vocabulary, and learning how to think in English. Second, your ability to manage your mind and emotions. For example, can you manage your stress, your self-doubt, or your confidence? Number three, your connection skills. Do people feel what you say and connect with you? Can you show your true self and make an impact when you speak in English? As you can see, your speaking level isn't just about your language level. It's about how you show up as a whole person. That's why on this channel, we emphasize the holistic approach to speaking a language, because we need to look at the big picture. So when it comes to speaking in real life, think of it in three different levels. Your fluency level. If you're low in your fluency level, you freeze, forget words, or always translate in your head. If you have at least an intermediate level, then it's not about not knowing enough English. It's because your brain hasn't built the habit of thinking in English yet. For example, imagine someone asks you to tell them about a book you read. You know the story, you know the words, but your brain is still translating everything. So you hesitate and find it difficult to talk about the main idea. And that's why conversation feels heavy. If this is you, you need specific practices to train your brain to think directly in English. The next thing you need to consider for real life speaking is your confidence level. Here, your English language is good enough for speaking, but your thoughts and emotions stop you. When you want to speak, you feel stress, fear, and self-doubt. Your true skills, talent, or even personality disappears when you speak in English. Maybe you want to say something funny or share your idea, but it all stays in your head. You just stop yourself from even expressing your ideas. This is where I was when I first traveled abroad about 20 years ago. I knew the words, the grammar, and the language well. I even was able to think directly in English and speak fluently. But fear and self-doubt controlled me. If this is you, your focus shouldn't only be working on your language skills. You also need to practice and work on the mental and emotional side of your speaking journey. And finally, your impact level. This is when your English is good, but people don't really feel your ideas. You can speak, but you can't inspire trust, connect deeply, or make an impact. Maybe in meetings, people don't take you seriously, or in social situations, you can't fully convince others of your ideas. If this is you, it's not about more grammar and vocabulary. It's about developing real life skills, such as communication skills, that can help you create real connections. So now that you know these 3 levels, what's your speaking level in real life? If you'd like a deeper understanding of this, I prepared a self-assessment. You can find the link in the description. Now that you know your speaking level, it's time for another important part of your speaking journey: knowing and understanding yourself. Here's the mistake most learners make. They automatically think, oh, I just need to learn more English. I just need to learn more grammar and vocabulary. But as we mentioned, the English language isn't your real problem most of the time, especially if you have an intermediate level. That's why self-awareness is so important. It helps you take a look at the big picture and understand your main issues and find a real solution that works specifically for you. That's why you need to understand your English speaking journey, how your personality can affect your learning and speaking journey, so that you can finally create a personalized plan. This is the way to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Without this kind of awareness, you'll waste your time fixing the wrong things that may not even be your problem. You waste your time watching random videos online, and as a result, don't get the result that you want in your speaking skills. I created a self-assessment to help you with a more holistic approach. You will understand your real starting point, your challenges, and what you actually need to focus on. In this way, you will have a more personalized approach to your speaking journey. If you're interested in this, check the link in the description. First, fill in the self-assessment, then download the explanation file and start your personalized planning. Now, let me know in the comment section, which one is your main challenge when it comes to speaking? Fluency, confidence, or impact? I'd love reading your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.